Welcome to Bristol. It's finally the Rugby World Cup semi-finals time between two of the biggest opponents, and probably we're a little bit biased because they're our favourites, but it's Canada taking on the Black Ferns. Well, Canada come into this one world ranked number 2 against number 3, the Black Ferns. I mean, how excited are you? You're going to be calling this one.
So pumped. Like I love both of these teams. I've spent a lot of the time with and around the Canadians as well in the last few years, and a lot of their sevens players. They're a great bunch of people. I think we can probably cast that aside for our New Zealandness today. But in terms of matchups, in terms of a rivalry, it has become really not a bitter rivalry off the field, but just the way they play. It's close contests. It's great rugby. Absolutely can't wait for the semi-final.
And as cliche as it sounds, it's the barest of margins between these two teams. A little bit of history update. The last time they played each other, Canada and the Black Ferns drew. It was 27-0. You called that one as well. Yeah. And then previously, Canada had beaten the Black Ferns for the very first time. So each year it gets closer and closer between them, and they finally got it done.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it had been 17 in a row before that game in Christchurch in 2024, and I guess that's just testament to the growth of Canada. I think it's been easy to forget that Canada were this close to beating England in the semi-final at Eden Park 3 years ago, and so there's been this ridiculous thing about them being underdogs, dark horses. They are absolutely deserving of that number 2 ranking. I think they go into this game as slight favourites off the back of those last 2 results. But what we do know, and what the Black Ferns have said, and we've heard from them, is that Canada hasn't played this Black Ferns team. They haven't played this team with Stacey Walker in there, with Reese Podilane in there. Of course, no Georgia Miller is a big factor, but this is it's a better Black Ferns team than the one we saw in May in that draw.
And Alan Bunting has come out and they said, like you mentioned, it's a different side, but even just the way that they attack, they've got all across the game plan now. The combinations are there. They've really worked on this World Cup, and they've been throwing every what-if situation, playing with 13 players, playing with a red card. And
playing against a 15-woman maul.
Yeah, exactly. So there's nothing more that could be thrown at them. That's what Ruahei Demant had said earlier this week as she runs out for her 50th cap for the Black Ferns. So these women and the Black Ferns are ready for this.
Yeah, and look, I think that's probably one thing. New Zealand have possibly had to be a bit more resilient through this tournament than Canada. Everything has been very smooth for the Canadians, and they were superb in the quarterfinal against Australia. I think that was the best 40 minutes any team has played in this competition. They are oozing confidence, and rightly so. Really well connected. They haven't had to tinker with their lineups quite like New Zealand had. They've got the same 23 that played that quarterfinal. But pound for pound, matchup for matchup, I was writing my notes for the game, and I was literally, both teams like to be physical. Both teams like to play at pace and tempo. They've got the 2 quickest ruck speeds of anyone. They will score tries, and they will want to keep scoring them. And so in terms of those matchups, like, it's across the board, which I think makes it so exciting because both the teams play a wicked style of footy.
Who do you think had, prepped better for it? I mean, in terms of like, how hard has the pool been for Canada? Yeah,
look, I think Canada, they were tested a little bit by Scotland in their last pool game. Interesting factor too, 6-day it's a really short turnaround for these teams as well this week. So I know the training loads have definitely been dialed back. I think, look, New Zealand, because of that adversity, Taylor, that you mentioned, they've probably just had a few more different pictures thrown at them. And we hear teams like to say that, don't they? Lou Ruahei Demant often says, what are we learning? What have we learned from that passionate play? What did we learn from that half? And I think New Zealand have had a lot more of that perhaps than what Canada have had to deal with.
Yeah, and they'll have to deal with this wind. And
aside from that, it's actually meant to be quite good, the weather on Friday night.
Thank you for the little update. I'm glad. Also, with what Ruahei Demant has said is, yes, the pitches have been thrown to them, but I mean, adaptability in a Rugby World Cup is, a godsend. This is what is going to happen in this game. I mean, looking at both the lineups, who's the player that we should look out for?
Well, I think both teams have got real versatility within their sides, and we're seeing that with the New Zealand loose forwards. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about Georgia not playing, but that means Kennedy Tukuafu comes in. The woman can play.
Amazing. And
Leila Sa'i comes onto the bench. probably been the best 6 in the competition.
Yep.
So there's that versatility. For me, I think Sylvia Brunt is going to be a really key factor for the Black Ferns. They call her a triple threat. She can ball carry, she can ball play, she can kick. Her directness will be massive, and she scored the game tying try back in May. For Canada, oh man, they've got lots. It's so hard to go past Sophie de Goody. I know we talk about her ad nauseum, but she is that good. They're basically playing with 4 loose forwards, Canada, because she's in at lock. So she's got license to ball play, to chuck it around, and other people will do the tight work. That axis of Shell, Taylor Perry, their first 5, and Alex Tessier. I think Tessier is massive. Honestly, it could go across the board, right? There's so many matchups that are cool. I'm a massive Flo Simons fan. And then you've got Asia Hogan-Rochester and Alicia Corrigan on the edge. It's Olympic silver medalists. They know how to win big matches.
They're kind of like for
There's
like.
so much like for like.
And we're so glad Sylvia Brunt is back because she was not able to play last week's match in South Africa. So she will be crucial if she's going against Tessier, who is their linchpin. She plays that 10, 12, 13. She'll be at second 5, but to take her out and kind of just nullify the opportunities that Canada have. Where is this game won?
I was going to ask you that.
But where's this game won if you can't, pick too much?
I think absolute key for the Black Ferns, they've got to be disciplined. Their penalty count has been high in this tournament. They do attract the ire of referees. They got pinged out of the game back in May in that game in Christchurch. So that is absolute key for them. If they can stay on top of that, I think as good as Canada's backline is, it's not Portia Woodman-Whitcliffe good, and we know what sort of form Braxton Sorensen-McGee is in, and Renee Holmes in career best form. So lots of like for like, discipline, absolute number 1 priority for the Black Ferns. I'm going to throw it back on you. What do you think is key, and who do you think is going to win?
I'm backing the Black Ferns. Purely, if I'm looking at just that last time they meet each other, like Ellen Bunting said, complete different team. Reese Podilane, massive for the way that they want to play. She's quick, she's fast. Ruck speed is going to be crucial. But also, I think last time they played, I feel like there was a try that could have been very controversial in the Canada, and then if Ruahei got the kick. So I'm just saying there was not a lot in it, and I do think the Black Ferns will pull away, but only by a try.
I'm saying that. Julia Shell was kicking in that game, missed 4 conversions.
True, okay.
Anyway, but these are all, what happened last time doesn't count. It's all about Friday night. I think Canada, marginal favourites. My New Zealand heart will tell you the other way, though.
Well, I'm glad, otherwise I would have pushed it.
I'm going in the drink.
Well, we can't wait for it, and good luck for your call.
Thank you.